Racing in Baja is unlike any other form of motorsport. It's as much a race against the land and the terrain as it is against your competitors. We have a saying in desert racing that to finish first, you must first finish. You make all the best plans you can, but as soon as that green flag drops, it's a free-for-all. In the early 60s, there was only about 200 miles of pavement in all of Baja California. There began this barroom bet. How fast could you travel from Tijuana to La Paz? We like to say Mavericks, Cowboys, and Renegades really founded the sport. So this was done many times, and the motorcycles always held the record. That was until the spring of 1967. Bruce Myers, the inventor of the Myers-Manx, on a bet decided that he and a friend could run in a shorter time in a four-wheeled vehicle. They'd scouted a different route than a lot of people were taking. Lo and behold, they were able to drastically improve the time of the motorcycles. Word of this got out. Late summer of '67, they decided to organize an event. They put together the first Mexican 1000. Our whole goal with the Safari Special Project is to capture and save and document those stories. Each year we pick the original chassis that raced, and we find the individuals that helped build or race that chassis, and we bring that car back to the NORRA Mexican 1000, and we share with the world the special meaning that chassis carries for that particular year. This year at Baja, we had the 1968 Funko Wampus Kitty. It was the first purpose-built desert racing chassis, and compared to the other vehicles that were running in the second year of the Mexican 1000, it was pretty special.
1968 Funko Wampus Kitty, which is just fun to say.
We also brought down a 1968 Volkswagen Bug that we ran in the event as well.
You really have to enjoy fixing cars.
Fixing cars and cranking on gears, and fixing spindles, and changing wheels.
That's why I was brought along.
The whole crew would just rally and work all night and weld all night. Even though we got no sleep, I knew that everyone was like secretly loving it.
In desert racing in Baja, you break something and it's like high fives all around, like killing it, like you're crushing it. Waking up the next morning at 5 a.m. to do it all over again.
There's no predicting what's going to happen. You can go 10 feet and your wheel fall off, or you can go 950 miles and your engine blow up.
Racing in Mexico is all about going with the flow. You make the best laid plans, but the moment that green flag drops, you're throwing everything out the window and just along for the ride.
I've always been drawn to the desert, the solitude.
It's the feeling of the Wild West.
Still feels untouched in a lot of places. Still feels like you're experiencing something new.
It's not too serious, but it really highlights the culture and the people of Baja, which you just can't beat.
Nothing is constant in Baja. Everything is out to get you. It's just a survival tactic. It's getting to the finish line.
There was rain, dust, dirt, mud.
The terrain is just so rugged and so unpredictable from one day to the next.
Hard to process all of it. The adrenaline, the exhaustion.
You have to be always on, whether you're in the car or in a chase truck following your race car down the road. The challenge of that is absolutely intoxicating, as well as the battle to beat the terrain and your competitors to just get to the finish line.
People would just dump like a cold tepache or beer over your car. You'd get out, your friends would be around you.
Seeing the locals come out to just be part of that moment was really cool. We had De La Calle stickers and Safari Special stickers that we were handing out, and the kids were just like going crazy for that. There's such a rich history of tepache in Mexico, and so here's Safari Special celebrating the history of the sport through the cars. Everything sort of just came together. It was like perfect.
Safari Special is archiving the past, but really we are now telling the present of desert racing through our connection with its history. While we're driving the same cars and racing the same route as they did 50 years ago, Safari Special is really out there making our own stories and creating our own memories.